In this video, I'm going to let you know the coordinates for all of the 5 entrances to the surface for the Aberration Map for Ark Survival Ascended. The surface is one of the most hazardous biomes in the entire Ark universe. The biggest threat on the surface is the creatures that are up there. The surface is filled with Reaper Kings. Now these are male Reapers, so you cannot get impregnated by them. They are just as aggressive and there are loads of them up there. The other creature you need to watch out for is Seekers. You will need to bring a light pet because Nameless will go up there, but there are loads of Seekers that will come and harass you whenever you stop. And there is a new aberration variant of the Faso, which you'll find up there as well, so keep an eye on those. We're only a few days out of the aberration launch and I have noticed a massive overspawn of Reaper Kings, so I would actually avoid going up there just for a few days until that is sorted, or go up there very cautiously. Hopefully this gets fixed soon. So why would you want to go up there? There are several reasons why you may want to go to the surface. The first one is rare resources. Element ore, metal rocks, crystal, obsidian, and oil are in abundance on the surface. The second reason you may want to go is loot drops. There are loads of loot drops on the surface and they tend to be higher quality than the cave drops. And the final reason you may want to go is to get the Alpha Reaper Barb. There are loads of Reapers that spawn on the surface, and this is the only spot in which you'll find an Alpha Reaper. The biggest public service announcement I can give you about going to the surface is do not go during the daytime. You will see that the whole surface is on fire, it is burning, and if you touch the area at all or even enter the ends of the caves, you will actually die immediately. So don't go up there. Now, what are the hours in which you can safely go to the surface? You need to go to the surface in the evenings, and in Ark that starts around 6 p.m. I usually start heading around 7 or 8 to be sure, and you can stay up there until the morning. Now the flames usually start just before 6 a.m. so I recommend heading to your exit just before 5 o'clock, giving yourselves plenty of times to find it. Aberration is the only map in which the day-night cycles changes over time. There are 3 different cycles of day-nights. There is one where there is 50% day and 50% night. The next one is 90% day and 10% night. And the last one is 10% day and 90% night. This can be a little bit confusing at first. The morning and evening times are still the same. Those are around 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. However, the time game IRL minutes changes with the day-night cycle. So what you want to do if you're considering going to the surface is going when there is a 10% day cycle and 90% night cycle. That will give you many more minutes of playtime in the night before that 6 a.m. fire rolls around. Another piece of advice I can give you to help you survive up on the surface is to set a waypoint at the exit. So say you've come out of this entrance and you're going to be spending time on the surface. When it gets really late in the evening and you're worried about it turning to daylight, what you actually want to do is exit as soon as you can. What I like to do is open up my large map by double-clicking M and hit waypoint. Create a new one, surface exit. Pop in the coordinates. You'll need to double check your map for the coordinates and accept. Enable waypoints there, and you'll see that we now have a surface exit on our map so that when we are out and about on the surface and we need to return because daylight hours are approaching, you'll be able to easily find it on your map. There are 5 entrances in which you can get to the surface, 3 in the green fertile area, 1 in the blue zone, and then 1 in the radiation area. The first surface entrance is located not too far from actually the portal spawn area. So for visual reference, this is one of the pathways leading out of the upper portal area. If we swivel around, the cave that leads to the surface is located just here. The coordinates of where I'm standing right now are 52.2 and 22.8. From here, you want to travel down the tunnel and you'll see loads and loads of mushrooms. Continue around the corner and then up over a small cliff. You'll know you're on the right track when you see the large glowing tech structure on the right hand side. You'll see large metal structures at the opening. This surface location is close to the red obelisk. If you're trying to find the exit of this one, look for the large metal objects embedded into the cliff and you'll see an opening there. The coordinates for the exit here are 55.9 and 23.8. The next location is close to the fertile lake area. On the west hand side of the lake, this is my approximate location, you'll see a path around the mechanical structures that leads off to the side. You want to follow this path. You'll see some green crystals and a large opening. This leads to a crystal encrusted tunnel that leads to the surface entrance. The entrance to the cave coordinates are 19.5 and 27.3. There are toxic mushroom spores in this cave, so just be careful. Make sure you have your hazard suit, which you'll need anyway when going to the surface, but it can sometimes cause damage to your light pets or teams. Follow the path around and you'll see plenty of bones on the floor. Continue following this path till the end and you'll reach a cliff wall or dead end. What you need to do is climb up to the top of the cliff. This exit is located close to the blue obelisk, although it will look quite purple. It is a little bit tricky to see the exit when looking for this one. There's no remarkable features around it. Look for some spiky rocks and a pit down. The coordinates for the exit here are 17.1 and 23.5. The third location in the fertile area is not too far from the northernmost river, right at the very end of it where it heads down to the blue zone. If you head north from this area, past this charge node, on the right hand side you'll see some stepwise cliffs up to a cave. There's usually a drop located at the entrance. Follow the cave along. There's plenty of mushrooms in the cave, including the biotoxic ones. And you'll be faced with another dead-end cliff face. You'll need to climb this to head up and above. This is the entrance that is located closest to the green obelisk. To find the exit here, you'll want to look for a large metal structure with lots of spikes around it. And then close to the cave exit, you'll see a charge node. The coordinates for this exit are 24.8 and 65.5. The next surface entrance location is in the blue zone. You can see we're in a spot where the mushroom trees start to change. You'll see pink sap coming off them. That means you're close to the area you need to be. And you'll see the area near the surface cave gets really bright red in color. And you'll see a really open ramp, and this is where we need to go to get to the surface. The coordinates for the start of the ramp are 39.2 and 79.2. Continue following the path around. It looks quite fertile, lots of mushroom trees around. The path for this one is quite long. Again, when you get to the end, it will look like a dead end, but like most of the exits, you do need to head up and climb up the wall. This entrance is not super close to any of the obelisks, but you will see green ob off in the distance. If you're up on the surface and are trying to locate the exit here, look for a charge node and a square metal structure around the cave exit. The coordinates for the exit are 34.1 and 82.1. The last surface entrance cave is quite tricky to find. It's in the radiation zone, and how I like to do it is to enter the radiation zone at this area here. And I'm currently located at 60.7 and 31.8. Use the main path following up and around to the right side, and you'll reach an area in the radiation zone with a radiation river. This is where I often go to get impregnated by reapers. You want to cross over the river and you'll see that there is various plateaus heading up to a cave. This is where you want to be. At the top of the plateaus, you'll see a small cave opening, and this is how you get to the surface. The entrance to this cave is 79.2 and 27.9. This entrance is really dark with lots of the pink flowers on the floor. Again, you'll reach what looks like a dead end in the cave, but if you look up, you have a huge wall to climb up and the surface at the top. And for me, this exit appears incredibly bright. If I look at the time of day, it's actually 1 in the morning, so I'm wondering if that visual glitch that was there in a Survival Evolved is still there in Survival Ascended. So just be really careful about this. The exit here is located near the red obelisk. The area around the exit is quite unremarkable, so if you're trying to find your way out of here, make sure you set one of those map markers I told you about earlier. The coordinates for the exit are 79.2 and 24.3. My name is Krabby. I make accurate, concise guides for Ark Survival Ascended. If you like these kinds of videos, subscribe for more, or you can check out one of them right here. Thank you for watching.